My name is Alex, and I work for Astro Digital. There I lead the integration process to make sure that the satellite data our company builds fits their needs and helps to build them analytical application based on the data by us or by some other sources. We often use the hashtag called fat data because the data from satellites is a really massive data set of about 5 petabytes right now, and it's growing by 500 terabytes every year, which means that we need to be really smart about how we approach the data of processing, how we process the areas which are requested by user, because we need to see what we need to provide only the data pixels which are needed to specifically user. No. Can I read it?
Yeah. Do you want me to feed you the question again?
The question is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So the main technology issue for our platform is that So yeah, the main technical. Okay. The first one was good. Okay. Yeah, so in our presentation we often say that satellite data is fat data because it's really huge. We are talking about a data set of about 5 to 6 petabytes, which is growing by 500 terabytes every year, which means that we need to be really smart about how we process the data, how we store the data, and how we assess specifically the areas which a user asked for. So we look at specifically the smaller windows of the areas which were requested by users. Yeah, so the first day when our website was launched and the browser for accessing the satellite imagery was available, we had about tens of thousands of requests, and we figured out very quickly that we need to be smart about what we do and how we're going to provide specifically smaller areas to the users. So the scaling is a really issue, especially when we are approaching new domains. So when we were moving from agriculture to forest monitoring, to monitoring of cities, to work with finance organizations, it meant that the scale of our observed area of interest is really growing, and we need to be able to serve all this data. Right, so we deploy our constellation of 10 satellites to image the entire landmass every day in 22 meters and 1 pixel resolution, and also we are building a constellation of high-resolution satellites for imaging the major locations of the world weekly in 2.5 meters and 1 pixel, which means that our processing capacity should increase by a factor of 10. Okay, so we approached a technology of microservices based on AWS Lambdas in order to scale the process, so we can do processing of 10,000 functions in parallel, which means for us the processing generating a crop map for the entire corn belt in about 30 minutes. So this way is good for us not only because it is scalable, but also it's quick to deploy, since we are a startup and need to have really quick iterations to demonstrate the proof of concept of what we're doing. What's really cool about Scale by the Bay that people with different backgrounds, different stacks of technologies are open to share their approach. And another thing which is really cool is that it's not only the high-level talks, it's really in-depth of different technologies, and people are literally like taking videos of every slide and taking shots of every slide because they're going to use this information in their work.